Welcome to Fresh Talk News Channel. Today, we're diving into a major update on global tensions and Team Trump's foreign policy challenges. Team Trump is facing what can only be described as two world wars. The first is literal, the war Russian President Vladimir Putin launched against the West by invading Ukraine. The second is metaphorical, a war President Trump himself appears to be waging against America's allies. This self-defeating strategy will not make America great again. On the contrary, if it continues unchecked, it could lead to the weakening, or even the collapse, of U.S. global economic and military power. No country can survive while at war with everyone. The U.S. now faces a resurgent Russia in Europe, a rising rival in China, nuclear threats from Iran and North Korea, and Houthi rebels aiming to shut down commercial and military shipping in the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden. Yet instead of uniting U.S. allies to defend democracy, Team Trump is triggering trade wars and casting doubt on America's commitment to NATO. Some, including Vice President J.D. Vance, are suggesting that the European Union should handle its own defense, both on the continent and in the Red Sea. This reflects a troubling inversion of how national power is supposed to work: diplomacy, information, military, and economy, or DIME. Right now, the White House is weakening U.S. strength on the global stage. Take Trump's approach to Putin in Ukraine. Trump has made repeated concessions, including ceasefires targeting Russian energy sites and naval assets in the Black Sea, in hopes of bringing Putin to the negotiating table in Jeddah. But on Tuesday, Moscow rejected Trump's ceasefire proposal, in its current form. As we warned last week, Putin is just buying time. Why? Because he's planning a new multi-front offensive in the Donbass. On Monday, the Kremlin announced its largest conscription round in years: 160,000 recruits, 10,000 more than last year. Conscription in Russia is always sensitive, so this surge suggests serious military intent. Meanwhile, Putin is also engaging in proxy wars in the Middle East against Team Trump. The Houthis in Yemen and Al-Shabaab in Somalia aren't acting alone. Russia is supplying missiles to Iran, and Iran is arming these militant groups. Their attacks are now threatening U.S. naval and commercial operations in the Red Sea, Gulf of Aden, and off the Horn of Africa. Russia is also shielding Iran's nuclear ambitions. On Tuesday, Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov warned of catastrophic consequences if Trump strikes Iran's nuclear facilities. In the Indo-Pacific, Chinese President Xi Jinping is capitalizing on Team Trump's global missteps. Beijing recently announced a 7.2% increase in defense spending for 2025, backing its growing military assertiveness with action. The Chinese Navy has been conducting live-fire exercises off the coast of Australia, a powerful show of force in the Tasman Sea, which separates U.S. allies Australia and New Zealand. China is also harassing Filipino vessels in the South China Sea and, according to retired U.S. Air Force Colonel Ray Powell, intruding into Indonesia's exclusive economic zone in the North Natuna Sea. Most alarming are China's recent large-scale military drills simulating a blockade and invasion of Taiwan. Nearly 100 Chinese vessels were involved in targeting mock ports and energy facilities, a chilling signal of intent. Putin is not only stalling Trump in Ukraine, he's also giving Xi time to pressure Taiwan. At the same time, Trump's wavering support for NATO raises doubts about whether the U.S. will stand firm in defending allies like Taiwan, Japan, and Australia. Instead of driving a wedge between Russia and China, Team Trump is pushing them closer together. Faced with this growing axis of evil, the White House should be working to unite allies. Instead, Trump is going in the opposite direction. On April 2, the administration plans to celebrate Liberation Day, a move that appears to ignore the global risks. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen pushed back, saying, "We have everything we need to protect our people and our prosperity. We have the strength to negotiate, we have the power to push back." And she's right. The EU's economy is larger than that of the U.S. In the defense sector, European nations are turning to France and South Korea to meet their arms needs, representing 6.5% of NATO's European arms imports this year. China is seizing the opportunity. In March, Beijing said it's willing to work with Brussels to counter Trump's tariffs on China and the EU. Instead of weakening the China-Russia axis, Team Trump is strengthening it. Rather than intimidating the EU, Trump is driving Europe closer to China, a move that could severely damage U.S. industries. That if China dominates trade through its Belt and Road Initiative, American companies could find themselves sidelined in both Europe and the Indo-Pacific. Diplomacy, information, military, and economic tools, has historically helped the U.S. win wars. But Trump is at risk of squandering that power. Alienating your allies is never a smart strategy. As the African proverb says, if you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. World War III can still be avoided, or won. Team Trump still holds powerful cards. It's time to play them wisely and rally allies to defend U.S. interests and confront the rising threats from Russia, China, Iran, and the rest of the so-called axis of evil. Thanks for watching Fresh Talk News channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more news and updates.